Common hybrid meeting mistakes. That's the meeting that we have when you're here and everybody else is, well, somewhere else. So the key to hybrid meetings are all about preparation. What do you do before you even start having the meeting? And that doesn't mean the day of the meeting. I mean way before the meeting. This is when you think, oh, I'm going to have a meeting and I'm going to be using that room in the office and other people are going to join me later on. That's when we start doing the prep. And we look at these key things. We start looking at the sound. What does it sound like? Where are the microphones? Are they close enough to people? Are they noise cancelling microphones, or does our software cancel that noise? That's going to be key, or else all people are going to hear is clatter clatter, or someone's going to have to kind of use that mute button. They're going to spend the entire meeting muting away. We don't really want that. The next is looking at the video. So step 2 is the video when we're preparing. Does it fill the entire room? Can you see everybody? I had a meeting just the other day and I didn't see someone. It's a really important person. I didn't even know they were in the meeting because I couldn't see them on the video. So obviously I was embarrassed. Let's not embarrass people. Let's make sure that the camera can see everybody in the room, even if it's small. Let's make sure that they can see it. The next step is going to be looking at, can we share the content? Now, I think you've all been in meetings where people have gone, oh, I can't share it. Oh, I just have to reboot. Or I need to change this. Or I need to give it permissions. Let's do that way beforehand. So let's at least have one machine, preferably yours or the facilitators, who has tested that and knows that you can share the PowerPoint, the Google Doc. Make sure that you've tested that way beforehand so at least you can share it and say, hey, can you just give me access to that and I'll share it on the screen for you. And you keep the flow of the meeting going. The next thing is your connection fast enough? So is it fast enough? Well, we all think, well, how fast does it need to be? But actually reasonably fast. And our home connections, sometimes we have really good speeds at home, and in the office it can be, when you're doing your prep, that it seems like it's fast enough, but you really want to test this when everybody's in. Some pieces of software are able to figure that out and you lose people, like in Google Meet. Other pieces of software aren't so smart and they just stutter, or you lose video first and then you'll lose sound. So you don't want people to say, hey, everybody, turn off the cameras right now because we need to be able to hear people. So let's make sure we've got enough speed. And if you're in a big office, get quality of service for your video. Your IT team will know how to do that. Otherwise, just get a lot of bandwidth. The next is recording. I've been there when people are saying, right, I'm going to hit record, and suddenly nothing happens and you're not recording. So let's get that tested. Let's make sure that everybody has permission to record the screen. You can record the video. You can record the shared or whatever it is. So let's just make sure that that works. And that's your preparation. Once you know that happens, then you can move on to the next stage. The next step is what I call the early bird check. And that is just, they have that saying, early bird catches the worm. Well, this is what we're looking to do. We're going to ask one person to turn up early. And we're going to say to them, hey, can you just turn up? And I'm just going to run through, does it sound good? Is the video good? Can I share this? And can I do a quick record? Just to make sure it works. That's all you're doing. You're just going to ask this one person to turn up, say 5, or if it's in all hands, maybe 10 minutes early. You've got to give yourself enough time of when, oh no, the sound isn't good, you can do something, rather than going, hey everybody, the sound is rubbish and I can't do anything. So if it's an important meeting, maybe, and by important I mean it's got lots of people in it, that doesn't actually make it important, but if it's got a lot of people in it, you want to make sure that it's going to be smooth. Time is money, so let's make sure that we do that quick check beforehand. Let's make sure the sound's good. Let's make sure the internet connection's good. All the stuff you did on your prep, we're just going to go check, 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 check. Did it work? And if it does, then at least that's one less thing to worry about in the meeting, right? So what are the common problems that, you do all your work, you get everything prepped, but you're still going to have issues? Well, one of the first ones that we're looking at is people cannot hear you. So it may be that for that meeting, you walk around or move the mic closer to them. And that's okay. You just call out and say, hey, everybody, the sound isn't very good. I'm getting some messages from people in the office or at home. I can't hear it. I'm just going to move the mic around. Everybody okay with that? Yep, they'll normally be okay. Just assume that they are. And you just move the microphone so people can hear it. That will solve that one. The other is freezing video. Now this can be because there's a hardware problem, but more than often it's because you just don't have enough internet access. For that, very simple. Just ask everybody to turn their cameras off. That's going to be the massive amount of bandwidth. Get everybody to turn it off, you turn yours off. You can still share your screen because generally sharing the screen doesn't use as much bandwidth as video, hopefully now. But basically just get them to turn the video off, and that gives you a way to get through the meeting, and then at the end you can figure out what the problem was. And the last is I cannot share, and this is a really tricky one. You can try, if you've done your prep before, you're ready to share. But if not, then after around about 2 or 3 minutes, you go, look, can you do this without, or can I just shine my camera on a document if it must be? If it's vital for the meeting, kill the meeting there and then and just rearrange. If the visuals are vital and you cannot get it working in that 5 minutes, it's always better to kill the meeting and then just restart it. Or ask people, are you okay if we continue the meeting without this thing going? The worst thing is just to carry on trying to solve a problem, because you're going to be lucky if you can solve it in 5 minutes. Generally, it's a bigger issue. So call the meeting. Everybody be very grateful for getting that time back in their diaries. I'm Tony Wood for Everyday Facilitator. Click, follow, subscribe, and let us know what you think. Have a good day now.